Well, good morning. It's 7:15. We are in Okeechobee, Florida, on the Kissimiee River. And today, primarily, we're going to be fishing for crappie. Funny named fish. And just catch the first fish. So we're going to see if we can get some of these. It's Tuesday, so it should be a bit quieter than the weekend. We're right under a road bridge, as you can tell. Let's see. We can get some catch the bait right under the moment. So. On this rod here, a 5 gram sliding pipe float bullet and sort of 8-inch link. It's set to about 10 feet. So this is the same way I kind of fish for perch and zander and small pike back home actually. But I can adjust the depth really quickly because I've got a stop knot. Now this is a deep river. It's like 30-40 feet, maybe out towards the middle, sort of 20 feet, probably that second piling across. So yeah, and it drops probably 15 feet really close in. So I'll do this, and I'm going to set up a bomb as well and see if we can get some catfish. I've also got a waggler set up because what seems to happen when the sun comes up, there's fish patrol these edges because the fry start to come alive. And we get all sorts down the edge, sort of bluegills, warmouths, crappie. What else? Well, I don't know what else. Catfish, potentially all sorts. So, yeah. The amazing thing here is tackle shops open at like 5 AM. So everything's like open, you can get bait on the way. I can't really see one of my nemesis, a turtle, out there. But hopefully it's a bit quieter because I did come here a couple of days ago when I first got here. I didn't do any filming because it was just so busy. And I'm sure we'll get harassed later on by people going, you know, are you filming? Straight lead on this, just need to get some bits of tackle. Nothing more complex than bomb. Swivel, and I'll put a hook length on that, and that'll be it. So tonight's my last night here, so we'll be heading off at some point tomorrow. Depending on where our fishing goes, we'll be heading down towards a place called Pembroke Pines, which is about, I don't know, 20-30 miles outside of Miami, where the peacock bass live. But I do like this kind of fishing here. It's interesting. There's fish topping all over. I found quite amusing yesterday was the amount of cormorants on this lake. And what happens is, pelicans, there's like a wooden beam like that, the pelicans sit on that and they wait for the cormorants to catch a fish and then they go and mug the cormorants. And like, I mean, pelicans, they are massive birds. And yeah, they literally just go mug the cormorants for the fish. It's pretty insane, to be honest. Right, on this, literally half-ounce bomb, £10 main line, £7 hook length, size 12 hook. Now I'll put a lump of bread flake, and so sort of like that, and then wallop it into the deeper water. So I was here last year, and I caught quite a few catfish doing this, but I've only had a couple so far this year. I think I've had 3. It's taking forever to tighten up because it's quite deep out there. There we go. Now the thing I found with the crappie is they seem to very much a shoal fish. And I always find it like when I've been zander fishing, when they're about, you get like a few, and then that's it. You'll get maybe 2 or 3, then nothing. You can't seem to catch them continuously. They seem to just sort of move on. So you kind of have to, once you've got them in, you kind of need to optimise and get back on them again. So yeah, they are a wicked looking fish. So the peg itself seems to have an outcrop. It's very rocky close in, and it kind of comes up here. There's a bit of a plateau there, of maybe 15 feet deep. And then it drops right off. But you don't seem to get them on the bottom. They seem to be sort of mid-water, and it's kind of finding that sweet spot where they are, basically. It looks like this sun's going to burn off. This fog's going to burn off a bit quicker than last time. It was quite foggy yesterday. I just had a day fishing yesterday, which is why I've come back to this spot, because we did catch a few. So we shall see if we can get some for the cameras. Yeah, last year, if I was fishing on the bomb, I'd have had catfish by now. There's loads of them. But maybe they've been thinned out a little bit, I don't know. So what seems to happen here is everything is essentially, apart from the largemouth bass so much, but certainly catfish and crappie are just taken for food. That's what they do. They catch and keep and cook, or fill their freezer. There's a minimum size limit of 10 inches on crappie. So anything below 10 inches has to go back. But from what I'm seeing, everything goes in the bucket. And it is literally fill your freezer. And that's what they do. They come in with varying degrees of success. Yeah. Only 20 minutes. No interest as yet. In terms of baits, certainly in Florida, maggots are not available. You can buy worms. I mean, the local supermarket sells worms. There's tackle shops everywhere. It's a huge business. And you can buy like catfish pellets or baits, which stinks, absolutely stinks. But I've not had much luck on it. I've done better on bread. So at the moment, bread, worms, and then you have the live baits. So you can buy shiners if you fish with bass, which are basically a small silverfish, very similar to a rudd, or minnows, which are fathead minnows. And you buy minnows by weight. So this morning I bought an eighth of a pound of minnows for $3, which is £2 something, about 25-30 minnows, which will do for this morning. Or shiners you buy by the dozen or half dozen, which are about $15, so $15 a dozen. But equally, I mean, you can catch, you know, small bluegill and stuff. I think the reason people don't catch small fish is because they don't seem to have hooks below about a size 8 here. I've not seen anything smaller than an 8. I think that, yeah, if you can find somewhere that sells trout hooks, but they'll generally be quite long shank. So yeah, if I went to catch some bait, ooh, that's a little nibble, a little dip on the float there. Yeah, if I wanted to catch some bait, I'd be on size 18 and time out a bit of bread. Yeah. Do you know what? It's 7:35 and the sunglasses are coming out. In terms of the kit I brought with me, I've got an 11-foot method feeder rod. It's a Daiwa Matchman with a 4,000 size Daiwa Matchman reel, and I've got a 12-foot pellet Waggler rod with a Daiwa Matchman 2 3,000 reel. They're not expensive bits of kit, because as you can see, there's rocks and stuff. It's not like you sat on the seat box and everything's safe, clean and dry. This is stuff I've bought purposely for this, or travelling, or just to chuck in the van. You know, all stuff that was just set up and thrown around, because it's not, you know, expensive gear. So yeah, you know, I broke a tip section on the other one, on the Matchman float rod. And actually, I think it was, I couldn't get a spare from Daiwa, but anyway, I was ordering some stuff before I came out, and managed to buy a whole new float rod for 37 quid, you know. And it's actually, yeah, perfectly usable, perfectly acceptable for this kind of sort of rough fishing. And then the lure rods I'd got anyway, but I don't tend to bring super expensive gear, because particularly flying, it gets damaged, thrown around, you know, it's all made up, chucked to the back of the car. So yeah, it is abused somewhat unsafe. Flying this is like concrete, so yeah, it does somewhat take a battering. So one thing I noticed yesterday when I was fishing was there were fish quite close down the inside. So I actually set up a little shallow Waggler sort of close in, and essentially thought I'd give that a try today. So it's what, 18 inches deep. So I think the one thing that the majority of youth anglers wouldn't appreciate is that they will happily fish on top of each other here. So I sat here a couple of days ago and literally I have got no fewer than 5 lines that have crossed over my feeder line. Just letting it drift across. And then when I did get a bite, I missed it because I was like, you know, you need to move your lines, and they were just like, oh, sorry, I didn't realise. No spatial awareness whatsoever. It's quite bizarre. Quite bizarre. And again, it's very much like, you know, if you catch something, you'll just draw people. You know, they'll just move and be like right next to you. And many times I've been, like, for example, here, you know, I can get to that piling, and I would fish that piling, and somebody comes stand there and cast straight across me, and I'm just like, wow. So yeah, there is, I don't know, I think there's supposed to be an etiquette. I don't know whether it's a Florida thing. I've certainly not come across it in the north. But yeah, it's, I don't know, what do you do? I tend to not say anything because people have guns here, so I just kind of deal with it. It's not all the time. I've met a few people here that have been pretty sound, to be honest. But there are the other one or two that are a bit rogue. I was thinking we might have had a catfish by now. It's been an hour. It's been out sort of a good 40 minutes. What amazes me is, and I know this is a huge water system, yeah, the Kissimiee River and Okeechobee Lake, but it's the amount of fish that just get taken every day. I mean, from this spot alone, must be hundreds a day, because it's constantly fished from sunrise to sunset. You know, all the boats. You know, it must be borderline hundreds. Yeah, it still produces. It's not like hugely prolific fishing, but I mean, you know, some people are taking. You know, I don't know if there's a limit, whether it's what the limit might be, but yeah, just imagine doing that back home. That literally the rivers would be empty, and I think it says something about the quality of the rivers back home in terms of, you know, environment. And their ability to support fish. You know, right here it's managed. You know, it's funded. I mean, they don't stock these waters for sure, but you know, it just maybe it's the size. I don't know, but and again, you know, fish-eating birds. Jesus Christ, the cormorants. You know, are just incredible. It's absolutely riddled with them. Pelicans. God knows how many other heron-type birds. Yes, it is incredibly rich with fish, and maybe it's because they're not pumping sewage in. I don't know. But I dare say they probably weren't fished as much as they are, and the fishing might be significantly better. It's certainly not like you see where on some of these ponds and rivers where they're hauling fish after fish after fish. I think there's definitely fewer fish about, but it does seem to still produce. I mean, there's got to be 300, 400, 500 boats on the lake, if not more, on a Tuesday. Admittedly, some of those are fishing for bass and catch and release, but others will be fishing for crappie and catfish for food. Too old for this. Hey, oh, that's gone. That's gone. Here we go. Here we go. What's this? Yeah, it's a crappie. That's what we came for. Look at that. We found them. Look at that. Big mouth. Ooh. Lovely looking fish. Let's get a bait on and back out. Yes, here we go. Ooh. Yeah, it's crappie. Took a minnow down the side. Look at that. The mouth though. They are a stunning looking little fish. Pop him back. That was right down the side of where I saw that fish top earlier. Fishing right down the side. Ooh. Yeah, here we go. They appear to be down the side there. This one feels a bit bigger. A little bit. Oh, the crappie. So they are close in the edge, by the looks of it. It's all about finding the shoal and the depth. So let's see if we can get another one. They don't seem to be in the deep or this is whether the shoal moves or so. Definitely a bit of watercraft there. I saw that fish show down the side. It turns out to be, you know, the target species. So I cast on it, and so everything is flowing the opposite way now. Right on my feet. Here we go. It's crappie. So it must be down the edge. Awesome fish. Let's see if there's some more down there. Trouble is, my nose is a nightmare to hook.
So bites completely dried up after that last fish, and it did start to get a lot warmer. But let's have a look at where we were fishing, and this gives us some idea of the scale. So in the arrow there, that's where we were fishing, just under that road bridge on the Kissimiee River, which goes into Lake Okeechobee here. And if we zoom out, we quite quickly get an appreciation of the scale of that lake. It's something like 80 miles long. But anyway, we were in Okeechobee. That was our last day, and we now hit the road and head south, hoping to catch some other species and be a bit warmer down outside Fort Lauderdale, Miami, in a place called Pembroke Pines, and hopefully the peacock bass are biting down there.